I want to welcome you to the meeting tonight to discuss some changes that need to be made in order for us to better meet the needs and achieve our new vision and mission statements. I do appreciate your giving up your time tonight to come out and meet with me. Let's begin by talking about a Google Classroom school and why should we change how we are teaching. Well, first of all, I did some research looking at our current student status, and I noticed that yes, our student demographics are still the same. We do have a large percentage of white population, a very small percentage of American or African American students, Hispanics. So therefore, we don't have a great deal of English as a second language issues and so forth. However, our biggest disadvantage that we have at our school is our low income students. Right now, we currently are at 62% of our student body being low income disadvantaged students. So, because we have such a large percentage of these students seem to have little experience in real world global societal ways. And we need to offer these students learning opportunities that will give them experience in the ways that the world is functioning today. I also did some research on our ready or exceeding proficiency. And I looked primarily at our 10th grade because they are in the middle of our high school range, grades 9 through 12. So I picked the 10th grade, and overall, each grade level is very close in proximity to the deficiencies of our scores. But if we look at the 10th grade, the combined population math readiness, we're at 12%, with our literacy being a lot higher at 43%, but we're still at a disadvantage in our literacy. And then I looked at our economically disadvantaged students. They are at a disadvantage of 7%. Only 7% of our students in the disadvantaged or economically disadvantaged range meet the criteria on the end of year math assessments. We had an increase of 28% on the literacy, but if you compare the combined population to the economically disadvantaged, you see that the economically disadvantaged is considerably lower. It's obvious that our math proficiency is lower than our literacy. However, both are still not where we want them to be. So we need to come up with a plan, and I have an idea tonight that I would like to share with you, and I'd like some of your feedback and some of your insight as we work through this process. Before I get into exactly the idea that I would like for us to consider, I want us to think about 4 questions. What are the students doing? What are the teachers doing? What are the administrators doing? What are the visiting parents or community members doing when they come into our school? Well, it's the same regular routine that we've done for years and years and years and years. The students are using textbooks, they're sitting at desks, teachers are standing in front of the classrooms teaching, and the students are taking notes and listening and then looking up answers in their textbooks and feeding that back on the test. Administrators are going about their business, just popping in, making sure teachers are on track, students are on track. When the parents come into our building, they see these kinds of classrooms functioning. When the community members come in, they see the same thing. Our parents come in, and our open houses and our parent-teacher conferences, they are well attended, but they get the same information. This is what we're doing in the classroom. This is what your student is doing. And we need to try to find ways to make your student more successful. So it's basically been the same process year after year. So I have some ideas that will enable us to better achieve our vision and our mission statement. In order for us to do that, we must make some changes, and Google Classrooms will offer the changes to achieve the outcomes that will align us better with our new school vision and our mission. We will offer school and learning in a whole new way. Our vision statement, now we've spent a great deal of time processing this as a whole team and a whole community, and we've come up with this as our vision statement. The faculty and staff at Cedar Ridge School are committed to providing an environment where everyone thrives through positive relationships, relevant experiences, and high expectations to develop successful individuals. Our mission statement says, "It is our belief that we are preparing today's students to become tomorrow's leaders." Okay, let's take a look at these two. If we're providing an environment where everyone thrives through positive relationships, relevant experiences, and high expectations, let's stop and think for just a moment. If we are doing the same old by staying in the textbooks, teacher in front of the classroom lecturing and teaching, students looking up answers in their textbooks and responding to teacher questions, we are not providing the most relevant learning experiences, nor are we providing our students with the highest expectations to help them develop and become successful individuals in today's society. So our mission statement then says, we are preparing today's students to become tomorrow's leaders. Well, in order for today's students to be tomorrow's leaders, they have to have a better understanding of where our world is today. How do things function in society today? We have come a long way in the last several years with technology emerging and rampantly increasing daily. If we continue in the same pattern that we are in today, our students are going to get further and further behind according to the rest of the world and the society. So we want to bring our students and our school up to the new levels of learning experiences so they can be better equipped to be successful in tomorrow's world. Let's take a look at this Google Classroom that you've heard me mention tonight. What is a Google Classroom? Well, first of all, it's free collaboration tools for teachers and students. That means our expenses of using the textbooks are going to be cut. It's an online classroom in which teachers invite students to participate. Students go online and they can have interaction online with their teachers. Yes, their teachers will still be available in the classroom, but if the student happens to be at home, perhaps he's homesick that day, or something, an emergency in the family has occurred and he is not able to attend classes that day, he can get online and access through Google Classroom what his fellow classmates are doing and have interaction with his teacher as well as his peers in the classroom. He will not be as prone to be behind if he has to miss a day or two or three due to an emergency. Students have access to assignments, resources, teaching videos, announcements, additional information, and communication among other students and the teacher. Google Classroom provides ongoing help tools and assignments outside of the classroom. The student has been at school today. He gets home and he remembers, I have this assignment due, but I don't exactly remember how to do it. He has access to all of the ongoing help tools to help him do his assignment once he's home. There's also file sharing for additional peer edits and collaboration. The teacher can post a file or a document, and the students can go in and look at that file and document, and they can make suggestions and comments back and forth to each other, and they can work on a single document together as a group from home. It is a paperless communication between students and teachers. No longer do they have to send an email and wait on that email to be opened. They can get on the Google Classroom and type in their question immediately. Even without just having communication back and forth with the teacher, the teacher can post her lecture notes and so forth. And if the student has forgotten something that the teacher said, the student can go online to the Google Classroom and pull up the teacher's lecture notes from that very day in the classroom. It streamlines the educational workflow and allows teachers to see students' work in real time. Students will work on what is called Google Docs, and the teacher has access to those documents as the students are working on them. So the teacher can actually see the student working, and they can share information back and forth with each other on that same live Google document. Why should we transition to Google Classrooms? Well, Google Classroom allows for sharing resources. Teachers can push out the students' documents, videos, or even links that they need to go to get additional information. It allows for creating a lesson. Teachers can build an assignment and include a description, attach multiple documents, links, or videos all in one place. It allows a teacher to post class announcements. Parents can log in and see those announcements, as well as logging in and seeing all of the help tools and links and videos that the teacher has posted. It allows the teacher and students to go paperless. Students complete assignments on a blank Google document, and then of course the teacher provides feedback on that live document, and then the teacher will return it to the student by simply sharing it back with the student. It allows for simplified turn-in process. The student can submit their work online. They no longer have to worry about keeping up with papers, and the teacher doesn't have to worry about keeping up with stacks and stacks of papers. It's all posted online. It also allows for privacy. It restricts access of the document to only the teacher and the individual student. Other students cannot see what this individual student is working on, nor can they see the feedback that the teacher is giving to that individual student. This, of course, is going to allow for a reduction in cheating. Other students cannot have access to other students' work and run the risk of copying someone else's homework. What are some of the other reasons for transitioning to a Google Classroom school? Well, there's classroom collaboration. The teacher can open access for all students to have access to a particular document, and all the students can contribute to the editing and revising of that document. Instead of the student working individually and then taking time to pass it to this student or pass it to this student, or the teacher having to go make copies of each student's edited information, the students can all see the same document all at once in the classroom as they're logged onto their computer as they're working with a live document. So they can all contribute and work on it at the same time. The teacher can post a discussion board by proposing a question or a thought, and students can discuss ideas with each other in that discussion board. And by the way, this online classroom is how your students will function in college. So this is one way of preparing them for college. And discussion board is a major factor in a lot of the college professors' assignments. The students will have to go on to the discussion board and provide ongoing discussion with their peers for a grade. So this gives them early access to that and experience and practice. It also allows the teacher to have established due dates posted. The teacher can clearly post the dates that the assignments are due, and that way it's very clear, it's visible, the student forgets. He just goes back into his Google Classroom, pulls it up, and he can see it and remember, oh yeah, it's due this time. Parents can also have access to that, so parents know precisely when the student's work is due. Email students, by having a Google Classroom, all students and the teacher will have a Google or a Gmail email account. And so they can email back and forth, and through that Gmail, that's how they are able to share that live Google document. Question and answers, the students can send questions to the teacher during after school hours from any location. The teacher can ad hoc playlist, and that means that she can post YouTube videos with an assignment or with an announcement that will give additional information or insight to the assignment. Easily view the student submission. The teacher can quickly see when a student submits an assignment. It posts the time. Google Classroom can eliminate the stress of teachers, students, and the parents. Now, I realize that your first thought, especially if you're a teacher and that's sitting in the room tonight, your first thought could be, this is going to be very frustrating. I'm not very good with technology. I don't know how to do this. I don't know what I'm going to do. All of these thoughts may be racing through your mind right now. Parents, you may be having those same panic attacks at this moment because you're thinking, okay, if I'm going to be helping my student at home, but I don't know anything about technology, how is this going to work? Well, I want you to keep in mind that no one will be left to do this alone. We're going to partner together. And as a high school district, we are going to provide training, and there will be other tools that will be posted online that are available for the teachers, the students, as well as the parents to log into those sites. Certainly, we're going to offer several training seminars here on campus. We will have these during our professional development time frames for our teachers. We will take our students through these the first few days of school to acclimate our students and teach them and train them in how to use these resources and this online Google Classroom. We will also offer parent nights so that the parents can come in, and we will train you, parents, so that you will feel very comfortable and confident when you're working with your students outside of the classroom at home. Why will this be good for the students? Well, this is going to provide exposure to online learning platform, and as I stated a moment ago, once the student gets in college, even if they are in a physical, on-ground college class, the professors still post the majority of the work online, and the students will submit nearly all of their work online. All students also will have to work through a discussion board. So this online learning platform is what they will use in college. So this will be a great tool to start training them now so that once they get to college, they will be more successful in college. Also, this online learning provides easy access to all of the learning materials. The differentiation is private. A student who is really struggling always needs additional help, needs more resources and tools to understand the concepts. This student will have all of these differentiated tools and resources available to him, and it will be done in private. No other student is going to realize that this student is getting the additional help. It also will provide the gifted students that extra challenge tool, resource, and information. It's also going to be less paper. That's going to cut the cost of the Xerox paper that we have to buy, using the copying and printing machines, and of course it's going to cut down on teachers and students alike having to keep up with lots of papers. It's also going to cut down on the lost work. The student does his homework, his parent sees him do his homework, but somewhere between home and school that paper gets lost. So this is going to cut down on that. It's going to be submitted online. Student engagement, it's going to offer lots of student engagement. Students today in our society are wired and geared toward technology. So this is going to enhance student engagement. The students are going to love working online in these Google Classrooms. It's going to be easy to use. I promise, I know, I see your face. You're thinking, I don't do technology very well, but I promise it is going to be easier than you think. And I promise we're going to provide you the ample training that you need. It's going to be more efficient and more effective in our communication because the parents can go online and access the teacher as well as the students. It is definitely more cost effective. Textbooks, we can do away with using physical textbooks because everything that the students will be using is posted online. So you can just open your textbook online. It's going to provide a better learning environment for the students. It's going to have a better experience for future learning mode, collaboration outside of school, and then, of course, the constant improvements and upgrades. Technology is constantly improving and upgrading, and we are going to be able to stay on top of the upgrades and improvements. Textbook adoption is about every 5 years. This is going to allow us to utilize online materials and online resources that are constantly updated. So we're not going to be lagging behind. Google Classrooms will enable us to better achieve our school vision and mission. We will be able to offer students learning experiences that are similar to real-world experiences and develop an understanding of a global society. We will be providing an environment where everyone thrives through positive relationships, relevant experiences, and high expectations to develop successful individuals and and we will be preparing today's students to become tomorrow's leaders. Google Classroom is going to allow us to better accomplish our vision statement and our mission statement, bless you, here at Cedar Ridge High School. I will now begin to hear your comments and answer any questions that you may have.